Hello, my beautiful people. It's nice to be in your midst once again. I'm hoping and trusting that you guys are doing super well today. Okay, we have fresh news for you guys, and I'm sure this one will come as a shock to some of you. Not maybe not too much of a shock to others. So now the news we are hearing, it's been alleged right now that the Ife wives, when I say Ife wives, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. So they're saying that there's more trouble for the Ifa wives as the Giesi elders. They've done the unimaginable once again. They have asked the Ifa wives to send their children from previous marriages away from the palace, and that those of them who are not ready to stay and conform to the expectation that the palace expects of them, that they should leave. Okay, and I think they are taking this hard stance because of what has been going on in and around the palace, especially some of the utterances and actions, from some of these women, because in the view of the Gise family, they believe that look, most of the utterances from some of these wives and their actions or inactions are part of the reason why the kingdom is being challenged for some time now. Don't forget that the Gise ruling house is the house that produced the current Ooni of Ife. And I don't want to belabor you guys with what happened, during the time they were making this selection for the present Oni, the kind of trouble they had from the three other ruling houses, because there are four ruling houses. Like I always say, it is the four ruling houses that bring forth representatives, out of which they now pick the favored one, after following all the procedures and guidelines. Okay. Now, the thing is, the rumor making the round is that the Oni, through the Giesi ruling house, has read the riot acts on the Olories, okay, threatening them to live there in peace or vacate wherever they are, whether royal mansion, the palace, everywhere, as long as they are within the proximity of they are within the vicinity, of the royal palace as a whole. They've been asked is either they calm down, they begin to behave, respect themselves, and not create unnecessary disharmony in the palace. That except they do that, if they are not ready to do that, they should vacate. This is part of the cleansing currently ongoing in the palace. And the wives are known to be the drivers of the bad energy and dark cloud that has been pervading, the environment for some time now. I'm sure you guys are aware that there has been this dark cloud that has been hanging and hovering, for days. So you can say family, or the ruling house, the elders now, in trying to cleanse the palace itself, they believe that it has to start with some of these women. Maybe not all, but most of them, because their utterances, I don't want to mention name, but okay, maybe I should mention name. That statement that was made by Queen Ashley the last time, that very, very unfortunate and unguarded utterance that my crown is my prince is the crown prince and stuff like that, and so many other things. The Gese family has linked it to the Lafogidi family where Queen Ashley hails from. Okay, and there are a couple of one or two other Olories who have been so misguided, in their opinion, and they have to read this riot out to them. Okay, so they queried them saying, "Why will you get into the palace? Begin to enjoy the perks of your respective offices." Don't forget that these ladies, I agree that some of them must have had money before getting married to this man, but it doesn't amount to the kind of privilege, the kind of affluence, the kind of popularity, the kind of connection and everything they now have as a result, by virtue of the fact that they are married to this man, this great man today. So the Gise elders, elder now, they are said to say, "Why will you get into the palace, begin to enjoy the perks of your respective offices, the life of affluence, fame, riches, respect, connection to the who is who, and profound consummation of all the paraphernalia of royalty, and not conform to the cultural ethos and the decorum that is expected of you. I mean, I think they've said it all here. You can't get married to this man and you enjoy the perks of this office. You enjoy the fame, the riches, the connection, you know, just the conviviality of the atmosphere, you know. And all you do is doing everything that kind of, that has some things that have potential to bring the palace to either derision or just problem or problem. So they are asking, the elders of Giesi family are asking, why do you enjoy all this and all you do is to bring down this the image of this palace? Because they are saying, why do you have all this and yet you engage in unbridled arrogance and self-aggrandizement that often leaves the Oni exposed to the vagaries and the enemies within and outside. I think what they are saying will resonate with a lot of us, because the truth of the matter is some of these women have not really helped the Oni, even though personally I want to believe that the Oni too needs to help himself. Yes, I said it. He needs to also help himself. Okay? Because this aggrandizement they're talking about now, the arrogance they're talking about now, for somebody like me, that statement that Queen Ashley made the last time regarding her own prince, I mean, is actually what I think they are referring to in this place when they say arrogance and a personal aggrandizement, because that was what that statement was meant to serve. Even though a deeper circle of the Giesi family are also looking that statement beyond just arrogance and aggrandizement. They also feel like the Lafugidi family is using Queen Ashley as prosy to carry out this subtle and gradual either decimation or anything that will gradually cause um, the rubbishing of the image of the Oni and his palace and whatever. Maybe so that at the end of the day, the Lafugidi family or ruling house may have a chance. That is what people are alleging right now. It is rumored that by the time the elders finished with them, that is finished with all the Olories, because they gathered them, and they spoke to them. They said by the time they finished with them, they became very disillusioned and inconsolable. Okay? They can cope with any other punishment, but not the prospect of a Queen Naomi returning to the palace and them sending them, and then them sending their children away. Because from what we gathered, they were told that it's either they are ready to stay in the palace peacefully or they should vacate the palace. Okay? And they feel like, okay, the two things that will make them very sad is asking them to go away from take their kids that they had from previous marriages away from the palace. But the truth of the matter is, if you so love these your kids from your former marriage, why not stay in those marriages? If you cannot stay in those marriages, must you go about them? Because it seems from what the Giesi elders are saying, it appears like those children are also part of the lawlessness and the lack of orderliness in the palace. So the Oloris people are saying that they are very angry. They feel, but there's really not they can do right now. Not even the Oni can change this position right now. So they are asking them to send those children away. And they're also asking them that if they are not ready to maintain the peace, they too can vacate the palace. So they were said to have lamented and wailed as usual. Women and they will cry, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, the Giesi elders stood their grounds. Correct. Correct. I like this. Perhaps they should be doing more of this to help the Oni himself, because this is what we have expected, we have watched at, we have looked out for that we never got. It is believed this is a good development. This action is long overdue, in my opinion. If this is what will bring back sanity to the palace, so be it, for God's sake. But what do you think? You listening to the sound of my voice, what do you think of this action? Do you think this is sustainable? Do you think this is achievable? Please leave your comment. I want to hear from you. Thank you for listening to us. May God bless you for liking our our stories, for sharing them, but most importantly, for subscribing to this channel. God bless you and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye bye.